Do you ever feel overwhelmed by the ever-changing world of technology? Tech It Out can help make some sense of it all. Breaking down geek speak into street speak, technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman covers consumer technology each week for every listener. Mark tackles the latest news, reviews, and how-tos to help you understand what's hot, what's not, and why.
Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to Tech It Out, episode 220. Hope everyone is doing great. We're a full week into November now, so you may be planning your holiday shopping. In fact, our first guest, in a moment, she's with that awesome app and website called Flipp. She'll explain why you may want to start earlier this year because of the supply chain issues that you may have heard about. Also on Tech It Out, we're going to chat with Nexit again about its navigation app. Perhaps you'll use it while on the road over Thanksgiving weekend. And finally, all this talk about the Metaverse by Facebook's CEO. So we're going to have on the founder of a company called Metaverse, a real trailblazer. All of this and more on a brand new Tech It Out, powered by Asus for those in search of incredible, which I'll tell you more about shortly. But let's officially kick off the show with our first interview. If you're looking to save some money while shopping, and who isn't, whether it's groceries or gifts for the holidays, I have to recommend one of my very few must-have apps that's on my phone. It's called Flipp. Flipp. Among other features, Flipp shows you all the circulars or flyers that you get delivered to your home, but all in one app, along with coupons and a lot more, so you can get the best possible deals at retailers you already shop at. Joining us on the line for a Flipp 101 discussion is Nafisa Qasim. She is Chief Deals Officer at Flipp. Love that. Hi, Nafisa. Good to chat with you.
Hi, Mark. Thanks so much for having me today.
Awesome. Why don't we jump right in? For those unfamiliar with Flipp, can you give us a description of what the app is all about?
Definitely. So essentially, Flipp is a free to download shopping app and website that brings deals and circular ads from over 2,000 retailers across Canada and the US right to your phone. So Flipp helps you find deals in your area across categories like groceries, home and garden, electronics, and pharmacy. It's a really good tool to help shoppers plan their weekly shopping trips and be intentional about saving money each week.
And I have to say, it's so convenient. So instead of, where I live, it's every Thursday, we get this like huge bundle of papers on our driveway. It's all the circulars or the flyers that have all the local stores and their deals. This is all aggregated into one place, and it's interactive, as we're going to hear. And it all sits digitally on your phone or your tablet.
That's correct.
So what would you say sets Flipp apart from other, let's call them digital saving platforms that are in the market today?
Yeah, that's a great question. Flipp is really all about the pre-shop. So it helps you make informed decisions about where to buy and when to buy. If you're looking for a way to save money with minimal effort, this is it. And when we think about the fact that prices for grocery and household essentials are on the rise, these savings can go a really long way.
Yeah, that's a good point. Prices are up, whether it's groceries or even electronics with the chip shortage and all that. Mm-hmm. Plus, it does go above and beyond that.
Correct. So paper cutout coupons, digital coupons are good options. But one of the main benefits of using Flipp is being able to easily access the deals across multiple retailers all at the same time. This means that you can browse all of the deals near you and visit the store specifically that you know will give you maximum savings. So when we think about those coupons that you'd mentioned, there's no need nowadays to have dozens of browser tabs or apps open comparing prices for hours on end. Flipp has all of these deals in one place, making it really easy to do your research quickly and effectively.
Okay. So you can, if you want, Nafisa, you can say, okay, I want to go to Best Buy or Walmart and look for what they have through the Flipp app. But you can also do a search, right? Then, as you said, compare prices so you know who's got the best deals on what.
Yeah, totally. Sometimes we want to browse deals, but other times we're looking for a specific item. That's where Flipp's search feature can come into play. Shoppers like yourself can search for anything you want, whether it's a specific store, a brand, a product, or a coupon, and Flipp will pull up all of the relevant deals.
Mm-hmm. All right. So let's say you find something that you're interested in. Like finally, you had your eye on something and it's for sale. So do you virtually clip it? Can you explain to our listeners what you do once you find a deal that you like?
Yeah. So if you find a deal you're interested in, it is as easy as tapping it, which will clip it to your shopping list. What your shopping list is, it really is a place that stores all of your clippings across multiple stores in that central location. And in some other scenarios, if you know what items you need, but you don't necessarily have the deals as of yet, you can actually just populate your shopping list with the items you know you need. Maybe it's eggs and milk this week, and Flipp will show you all of the available deals for those items on your list.
Yeah, so I love it. I show this to my friends. So like you could type in, for example, chicken, and it'll tell you based on where you live, because you type in your zip code when you start using the app, or you can let it identify where you are based on your phone's location information. But it's so neat that it does show you based on where you are, who has the best deals. Now, you may not want to drive, a long way in order to save, 50 cents. That doesn't make sense. But you can still, as you said, like sort of be educated about what's out there and then plan your shop accordingly.
Exactly. And nowadays we are seeing some shoppers that do like to go to multiple stores. So you can really be intentional about what you're getting from each store. And, if you are a super saver, maybe even have a shopping route or something like that planned.
Super saver. I'm envisioning like opening up my shirt and I have the logo underneath.
Exactly.
Like Superman kind of thing. All right. And then speaking of money that you can save, does Flipp have any idea, like any sense about how much you can save people?
Yeah. So according to research we've conducted, a Flipp user can save an average of about $45 off of their grocery bill. If we're thinking about a full year, adding that up, that's over $2,000.
So that's significant, because I know there are people listening going, I don't need an app or a website like Flipp. I'm good to do it the way I normally do. But that's a lot of money.
Definitely not chump change.
Yeah. That's for sure. Let's talk about some other features about Flipp that our audience may or may not be aware of. Again, I've been using the app for many years, but I run into friends who haven't seen it yet. So maybe you can tell us about some of the other cool things. Like, what about the watch list, which I think was introduced last year?
I love that you know about these. So yeah, watch list was launched around last year, and it is one of my favorite features. Definitely the one I use most in the app. In understanding watch list, you can kind of imagine it as your personal shopper. And what it really does is you can let watch lists know which items you want to keep an eye on, and the app will notify you as soon as that item goes on sale or if any new related deals drop. Really what it is that watch list is taking away all of that hard work for finding the best deal. So it's a must use.
Again, we're focusing primarily on retail here, right? Just to be clear, let's say there's an LG TV. That's a 65-inch TV that your local big box, consumer electronics retailer has, but you don't want to spend what it's advertised as, but you want to keep your eye on it. You can identify that as something for your watch list, and it tells you when something can be bought at a store near you that is lower than the price that it was originally listed at.
Yeah, and so a way to think about it is we know that a lot of these products are available at multiple stores. And so for you, it's really about finding the best price for that product. And so what watch list will do is, because those deals aren't always coming at the same time, it allows you to track over a longer period of time which deals are popping up. So you can be really intentional that when you buy it, it is for that best price available. So
if you're on your iPhone or Android device, do you get a notification that says, hey, Mark, that TV you had your eye on is now available for $800 instead of $1,100, something like that?
Exactly. It'll notify you right to your phone saying, hey, there's new deals for that TV you were interested in, and you can jump into the app and check out all of your options.
Okay, awesome. We are chatting with Nafisa Qasim. She is Chief Deals Officer, or CDO, at Flipp. I really do like your title, by the way. We're learning about the app and website and how it can save you money all year round, but especially as we head into the holidays, but it can be used for groceries and other household items. What if you find a great deal through Flipp and you want to share it with a friend or family member?
Yeah, so my mom always says sharing is caring. So if you see a deal that's too good to keep to yourself, you can actually just tap the share a deal button and send that over to any friends or family that you'd like to share it with. Also, there are scenarios where there's more than just one good deal. So if it is a full array of deals or a full flyer that you want to send along, that's also an option as well.
And everything is synchronized, right? Like when I'm at home, Nafisa, I like to look on my iPad at the Flipp app. And then when I'm out, I'll have my phone with me instead of my tablet. And everything that I've highlighted or that I've, made a list of and all that, it's all synchronized between all my Flipp accounts.
Correct. So Flipp does whatever it can to make your job as a shopper easier. So as long as you're logged into your account, you can access those same deals across multiple devices.
And that goes for your computer as well, right? At flipp.com.
Yeah, we do not shy away from desktop either.
Because sometimes you want a bigger screen to see the products. Oh, and here's a little pro tip for our listeners, by the way. If you are browsing through a store's deals, like the flyers, the circulars that they've got, and you see an item, if you tap it once, it gets dropped into your list. But if you tap and hold it, it will give you more information on that product, including possible reviews or a video of it, or if it is some electronics, it might give you the specs of it. And just that's a press and hold or a click and hold. So that's something that a lot of people may not know about. So
yeah, it's a really great call out. And when we think about the print experience versus the digital, Things like that is really what sets digital apart, right? You can get this wealth of information on the products you're browsing and researching right at your fingertips, should you want to learn more.
Awesome. And one of my favorite features of Flipp, probably the reason why I open it the most when I'm out, even at like a drugstore or something, is the fact that it holds all my loyalty cards in one place. So I don't need to have a pocket full of plastic, right?
Exactly. Gone are the days of that 3-pound wallet or having to sort through, let's say, 40 cards at checkout. In addition to supporting the pre-shop, Flipp is also working as your wallet for any of your loyalty cards. And so as long as you're adding your loyalty cards to your app, Flipp can ensure that you never miss out on those great reward points.
Yeah, just yesterday, I opened the app and it shows a barcode that the retailer scanned, and then I got my points for the purchase. All right, so with that in mind, Nafisa, why don't we wrap up? Where would you recommend to learn more about the Flipp app? And of course, you would just download it from your favorite app store, but let's give our listeners a call to action, if you will.
Yeah, so Flipp, again, is a free app. It's available on the Apple Store as well as Google Play. And for our desktop users, you also have the option to visit app.flipp.com if you want more information. And just a reminder, when you are searching for Flipp, that's Flipp with 2 Ps.
Again, that's Flipp, flipp.com. Nafisa, great chatting with you. And I know we're going to have you back soon to talk about some Black Friday deals. Again, this is the time of year where we really want to save, especially with some of the rising prices out there. So looking forward to chatting with you again soon.
Yeah, chat soon, Mark. Take care.
We'll be right back with more Tech It Out. Stay with us.
Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want. Find the Tech It Out podcast at iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to Tech It Out, powered by ASUS for those in search of incredible. ASUS creates technology for today and tomorrow's smart life, and that includes its line of award-winning laptops and desktops, monitors, smartphones, tablets, smartwatches, and much more. For those in search of incredible, visit asus.com/US/radio for more info. That's asus.com/US/radio. It's my pleasure to have back on the show Randy Carpenter. He's CEO of Nexit. If you recall from a few weeks ago, Nexit is a very unique navigation app that doesn't just focus on the destination, but on the journey itself and saving you money in the process. Randy is back for a deeper dive on Nexit, which is spelled Nexit. Hi, Randy. Good to chat with you again.
Hey, Mark. Nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
Great. Before we dive into some new features of Nexit that we'll get to, please give our listeners a high-level summary of Nexit. Nexit 101, if you will, in case they missed the interview from a couple of weeks back. What is the app all about?
Sure. Thank you, Mark. Nexit is a mobile navigation app that integrates voice-activated turn-by-turn driving directions, but it allows the user to customize and personalize preferences all along the journey. We use multi-search, multi-layered options. For example, you're driving down the road and you want a Hampton Inn under $150 with an indoor pool and an exercise room. So right there, we've hit brand, amenity, price, right? So the multi-search, multi-layer. Well, let's keep going. Let's say we want a steakhouse, McDonald's with an indoor playland for the kids, a gas station with a car wash. Your wife needs something from the pharmacy. Kids want a bowling alley.
That's a busy road trip, Randy.
as many as you want, right? You can just keep layering and layering. By the way, you can book the hotel right on the app. So Nexit will show you where all of these occur at the same exit, or you can integrate the stops all along the way, however you choose. Now, the second point is it's relevant to your route. It's not in a radius. It's not behind you. It's not beside you. So that's the Nexit high-level view. It's about customization and relevance.
All right. So for some other navigation apps, if you say, I want to go to, say, McDonald's, because that's what the kids are asking for, it may show you one that you have to turn around to access. That's sort of the issue, right, with some of these other apps.
Yes, they show you typically in a radius.
Right.
So it's not relevant to where you're going. A lot of people that we have talked to share their frustration with seeing, I think I mentioned last podcast, someone was using another app and they asked for Chick-fil-A and they said, it's so frustrating because every time we ask for Chick-fil-A, it's always 20 miles behind me. So that's a key point, the relevance to your route.
And speaking of driving, Randy, I know one of the features of Nexit is finding the cheapest gas as well. And let's face it, the timing couldn't be better. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Absolutely, Mark. This is a topic that's certainly on the minds of everyone, as prices are the highest they've been in 7 years, and they're expected to go higher. Mm-hmm. So there are a lot of apps that will tell you the price, again, in the radius around you or in a particular city. And we do that as well. In fact, we highlight the cheapest gas in your area so you don't have to go through a list and compare. But the big difference is when you are on the road. So imagine traveling down the interstate at 65 miles an hour. An app that gives you prices in a radius around you while you're on the move, it's not a lot of help at the moment. So Nexit will show you by default the cheapest gas per exit all along your journey. In addition, we also show you a rolling cheapest gas in the next 50 miles banner along your entire trip. I've talked to so many people about their driving experiences, and every single one of them has told me that they have that shared experience of pulling over to get gas and then seeing it much cheaper just a few miles down the road.
Yeah. Frustrating. That irks my wife for sure. But I mean, look, that's a big difference. For example, if you're filling up because you're on a road trip, so presumably you're not just topping up, but you're filling up. That can make a big difference. That's taking money out of your pocket.
With Nexit, problem solved.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we've already sort of hinted at some of the key differences between Nexit and some of the more, let's call them established mapping apps that have been around for a few years. We've talked about the fact that it only gives you recommendations along your route. So you're on the freeway, you're on the interstate, it'll say the next exit or the next exit after that. Maybe that's where you got your name from. As well as finding the cheapest gas. You don't have to open up another app like, let's say, a Gas Buddy or something. Are there other advantages to Nexit over some of these other mapping or navigation apps?
Yeah, we really, if you think about it, we're at an inflection point in mapping. Google, Apple, Waze, they've done a really great job at establishing the importance and usage of mapping apps. I mean, 67% of people use a mapping app at least once a month, and most once a week. So everybody's using mapping apps. But if you look at any industry, as audiences scale up, customization always is required. It's the nature of a dynamic market. Take just quick example I like to use is television. At first, there were 3 channels, and that was it. And as audience and usage scaled up, you saw color TV, then public broadcasting, then HBO, then cable, then specialty channels. We got weather, cooking, fishing. So we're kind of at that same point in mapping. Now that everyone uses maps, more customization is what the market always looks for. And that's what Nexit is, obviously. I read a report recently about how and why people use the mapping app they use. And the reasons were all about directions, navigation, etc. And there's no surprise there because that's the focus, right? They do a great job at that, but nothing about customized content. And that's what Nexit is all about, customization.
We're going to continue chatting with Randy Carpenter from Nexit when we return. Stay with us on Tech It Out.
Want to follow Mark? Google him. Mark with a C and Saltzman with a Z. Breaking down geek speak into street speak. This is Tech It Out. Tech It Out with technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. We are chatting with Randy Carpenter. He is CEO of Nexit. This is a navigation app for iPhone and soon Android that will help you not just get from point A to point B, leveraging satellites above the earth, as well as some data on Nexit servers that you would download, maybe before you hit the road to identify where you want to stop and when. And then together on your iPhone screen, then you can get all the directions that you need and all the stops along the way. So Randy, what are some of the features that you're rolling out for Nexit? I'm sure our listeners would be interested to be one of the first to know about these next generation features.
Yeah, that's a great question. Let's talk about the vision. I mean, Nexit will be your platform for all your needs on the move. We're talking driving, walking, highway, city, it doesn't matter. An increasingly personalized experience. We talked about multi-search, multi-brand, multi-amenity. That's just the beginning. Multi-car. That's coming with Nexit Convoy mode. book the hotel, pay for the gas, order ahead, use the coupon, get your discounts for your memberships from the phone in your pocket to the dashboard to the wrist. Contextual suggestions in real time. It's all about saving money, saving time, and more discovery. Now, that's just a small sneak peek at where we're going. And of course, in the near term, you're correct. Android, CarPlay, Android Auto, and a few other surprises are right around the corner. We're working on them now.
Now, you mentioned memberships earlier. Can you talk a bit about that?
Sure. It's interesting. I'm a member of several large associations that you would know of, as well as several more loyalty programs. And in a lot of cases, it is a challenge to even know and or keep track of the benefits that the users have from these programs. In addition to that, most of them are all missing the on-the-move, real-time aspect. So we see some real benefit to integrating this into Nexit. The membership groups and loyalty programs get happier users. Sponsors get increased traffic and sales, which leads to more members and more discounts and more sales. So it's a positive upward spiral.
And if personalization and customization are a key pillar to Nexit, this all makes sense to integrate your membership information as well. So we'll have to have you back on the show when you're ready to announce some partners. Now, also earlier, Randy, you did also say that Nexit was a platform. You didn't refer to it so much as an app. So you do work with brands to customize Nexit. Can you talk to us a bit more about that?
Absolutely. What we've talked about so far is the user. But what about the partners and the brands, the membership groups, et cetera? So Nexit it's quite an extensive platform. We've built the infrastructure for multiple applications to be developed upon. So we built the tech stack to include custom analytics, APIs, behavioral and product analytics, things like that. But it's built to be equally valuable to brands reaching a targeted audience at the point of purchase in real time. I mean, they're driving right by, right? What a captive audience, but not in an intrusive way, in a value-added way for the user. What's important to them at the right time, at the right place. But it's always with the user permission and privacy in mind, always.
Before we wrap up, Randy, with other navigation apps, when you glance at the screen, when it's safe to do so, you might see, estimated time of arrival. You'll see kind of like an overhead view of where you are. But with all the stops in mind that Nexit offers, deals on gas and, restaurants that you've identified or hotel chains, do you see like little logos on the map? Like, because it's radio, maybe you could describe what it looks like to use Nexit.
Sure, that's a great question. Now, there's kind of two aspects. You can do pre-planning from your couch. Say you're going on a trip in 2 weeks. So you can really put in your destination and then really start building your trip like I talked about earlier, the Hampton Inn,
sure,
et cetera, with the indoor pool and the exercise room. You'll see all the pins along your route, right along the highway, right along your route. And then as you start customizing, the pins start disappearing, and only the pins, as you're building what you want to see, will show on your screen. So you may start out, let's say, Ashland to Atlanta is a 400-mile trip, and there may be 80 exits. You'll see 80 pins, right? So now as I start to customize, the pins go down and down and down to the point where you may only see 5 or 6 exits on the route with the logos that you've picked. Mm-hmm. Now, that's the planning part, right? So you can really have fun and play around with that on an iPad or an iPhone. But let's say if you're just driving, right? So you've got the screen. Obviously, you've got the little blue dot, which is you, and it moves. And you will see the banner at the top that shows you the cheapest gas the next 50 miles. And you'll typically, depending upon where you are, you'll see 3 or 4 exits on your route, and they will show you the cheapest gas at those exits. So you can see that at a glance. And you also will see 3 or 4 logos of representative brands at that exit. Obviously, that's not all of them. And those are a random assortment right now. At some point, those may be paid placements or what have you. But and also think about the membership programs we talked about earlier, Mark. Well, there you go. Their discounts are going to be right there. integrated into your trip.
What if you realize you need gas and you didn't expect to need it so fast for whatever reason? Do you use your voice to ask to find you a gas station that you're maybe a member of, a rewards card or something, or the cheapest gas? It's safe if you're driving to use your voice.
Yes, absolutely. You just touch the little microphone button and you can ask for the gas with your card. Let's say you have Shell or Exxon. But what's interesting is you can say, I need an Exxon station, but I also want a Big Mac. So there may be 3 Exxons in the next 10 miles, but only one that has a McDonald's beside it.
Got it. Understood. Okay. So as we wrap up, Randy, how do we get going? What should our listeners do to test drive Nexit?
Absolutely. You can download the free Nexit app from the iOS App Store. That's for iPhone and iPad. And like we said, Android is in the works and coming very soon.
All right, Nexit, Nexit. You'll find it at the App Store. It's a free download. You can also load it to your iPad, not just your iPhone as well, for those who prefer that device. And coming soon, Android. And we're going to have you back on the show again, Randy, to talk about some of the additional features and when you've got some partnerships to announce. So thank you so much for your time. Always a pleasure. It's always great chatting with you. And I really do encourage our listeners to check out Nexit. It's an amazing navigation app, especially as we head into Thanksgiving travel and all that. You should definitely have that loaded on your phone. Thanks again, Randy.
Thank you, Mark. It's always nice to be with you.
Again, the website is nexit.app. When we return, we're going to learn about the metaverse. Stay with us.
Breaking down geek speak into street speak. Check it out. Hosted by Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. Before we chat with our next guest about the metaverse, I wanted to chat for a moment about Slick Deals, the website, browser extension, and app that I'd strongly recommend that you keep on your phone, tablet, or computer all year round, but especially leading up to the holidays. If you haven't yet gone to slickdeals.net, it's the largest deal sharing community on the web with up to 12 million savvy shoppers who use the platform to share deals that they've found. Deals then get vetted by the community through votes and comments, and the best ones often appear on the front page. For example, let's say there's a 40% off sale on a 75-inch TV and enough people vote on it, it gets in front of you. With the browser extension, it keeps an eye on all your online purchases and notifies you if there's a coupon that you can apply. Plus, it also calls out the hottest deals at that particular retailer. And Slick Deals just launched something called Slick Deals Rewards. It's a program designed to save you even more for those who install the browser extension for Chrome, Edge, or Firefox. It enables you to receive cash back at participating retailers. You can set up a deal alert at slickdeals.net and a lot more. So be sure to check out that website, app, or install the browser extension. And I'll tell you a few more features about them next week as well. All right, let's continue on with Tech It Out. Over the past week or so, since Facebook announced it would change its corporate name to Meta, you've probably heard a lot about the metaverse, considered by many to be the next generation of the internet. Well, Alan Smithson and his partner Julie, both life partner and business partner, have been talking about the metaverse for about a decade now, if I'm not mistaken. And their company is called Metaverse, with the VR capitalized to drive home the point. Well, we've got Alan Smithson on the line with us now to chat for a few minutes about the metaverse and Facebook's future and more. Good to chat with you, Alan. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you so much, Mark. I'm such a huge fan of your show, and we've known each other for so long now. And, you know, we've been screaming out into the ether about the metaverse and XR and these crazy technologies for many, many years, as you mentioned. And now all of a sudden, the world caught up, and here we are.
I, too, am a fan of yours, so thanks, Alan. In fact, I remember giving a keynote speech at an event maybe, 8 years ago, in part about virtual reality and augmented reality, mixed reality, and I was so nervous because I saw you and Julie in the audience. So congrats on being able to foresee where this tech is going, and we're going to get to all that. And before we talk about what your company Metaverse does, let's unpack what the Metaverse is. Now, one of the biggest companies on the planet, Facebook, is really doubling down on this as the future. What is the metaverse?
Sure. So there are many definitions for this and floating around the internet, but really what it comes down to is we have the internet, right? You don't say there's the internet. So there's not an internet for this and an internet for that. It's the internet. And we're having the same conversations around the metaverse. And really what it's going to be is instead of looking at your screen and navigating in two dimensions, you'll be able to look at your screen and navigate in 3 dimensions, meaning you will go into your computer or the computer will come out at you. And you'll either, use these kind of three-dimensional aspects on a, flat screen like your computer, tablet, or phone, but also the future holds virtual and augmented reality. And in VR, you go into the whole scene. So imagine walking into the internet and being able to meet with your friends in the internet.
Is it kind of like the book and movie Ready Player One, where you jack in and you have an avatar that represents you online, that kind of thing? I understand that's not for all applications, but that's roughly the idea, where you live, play, work, communicate, shop in this virtual space?
Exactly. So the idea with this is that, we have websites, we go there every day, we have games that we go into, and it's just kind of the merging of all of those worlds. So you'll be able to take your avatar and meet up with people in Roblox. Maybe you buy an item in Roblox. And because now part of the metaverse is this decentralized ownership of assets, where I can buy something in Roblox and then carry that with my avatar over to Fortnite, for example. Go shopping in virtual retail. You'll be able to learn in virtual schools. Facebook CEO really had Mark Zuckerberg really had a great idea around presence. So being able to be on the internet and be present. So right now we spend a lot of time on Zoom calls. We're looking through the internet and it's great. But what if we could embody an avatar and walk through there and meet with people? And when you have virtual and augmented reality on, it's a whole new ballgame, because now the computing power is on your head and you feel like you're there. You can reach out, give somebody a high five, you can see your friends. And, you go to a conference, let's say, and instead of just sitting watching on a Zoom and you got your email open on one tab and you're just kind of listening in the background, in virtual reality, you have to be there because your avatar is looking there. And if you turn around, if you look behind you, everybody in the whole event can see you turn around. It's like being at a real event. It's super cool.
So you can attend online concerts as if you were there. And so you could be wearing a VR headset at home, but someone who is at a real concert wearing augmented reality glasses could look beside them, and there's Alan Smithson as the 3D hologram rocking out to the song just as if they were together.
Exactly. And I think this is going to bring us together as humanity, because when you start to come into the metaverse, you can bring your avatar with you, but your avatar does not need to look like you. It could for maybe business purposes. You've got, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella actually yesterday saying that they're building Microsoft's version of the metaverse, where you can meet and have Teams meetings, and you can meet with people. You can have employee onboarding. So there's going to be the work-based metaverse, but then at night, on your spare time, maybe you want to be a giant orc and you want to fly and you want to have wings and they want to be pink and sparkly. The universe that you're going to be able to go in and create your avatars is unlimited. And so you're not limited anymore by time, space, or technology. Really, when you're in the metaverse, physics don't matter. You can fly, you can go back in time, you can go ahead in time, you can be the size of an ant or the size of a giant all in the same time.
Love it. We'll continue chatting with Alan Smithson from Metaverse when we return.
Follow Mark Saltzman on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Listen to Check It Out whenever you want.
We are chatting with Alan Smithson, co-founder of Metaverse. Him and his partner Julie are at this company that really looks to the future of the internet and where we're going with mixed reality. Is that, by the way, XR, extended reality, mixed reality? What's that you said earlier?
Sure. So XR is really just a catch-all phrase for virtual, augmented, mixed reality, and real-time 3D.
Okay.
So whether you're on a mobile phone, you're on a computer, tablet, or headset, it's kind of a catch-all phrase for one of the technologies that build the metaverse. The other side of the technology would be, blockchain, and then a third part would be AI. So you've kind of got all of these different technologies coming together to build the metaverse.
I do want to talk to you about your company, Metaverse, but just quickly, do you feel Facebook is the right company to help usher in this new generation of the internet? Some disagree that Mark Zuckerberg should hold the reins here, or is it going to be more open?
Well, it has to be open. The whole idea of the metaverse is open. And if you listen to the conversation around Facebook's launch and the whole team, and you really dig deep into it, you realize that there are unintended consequences of technology that we build. And the social media platform, Facebook, has run into those. And it was definitely not by anybody at Facebook ever said, oh, we want to create a platform that spawns misinformation. They don't do that. They tried to make the best platform for human communications. And I think now moving forward, they have an eye to the future. And I think Facebook has led the VR revolution, buying Oculus back in 2012, 2013 for $3 billion. Mm-hmm. And Facebook has been investing about $5 billion per year in virtual reality. So that means they're losing $5 billion a year to get this thing off the ground. And they've just doubled down and said, we're going to invest $10 billion a year until this thing is something. So without Facebook, we probably wouldn't have the modern day VR world that we have.
I love that there's even like virtual therapy where you can face your phobias by working with a virtual or a real therapist. It can help people in retirement homes virtually walk around their town that they're from.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing. All right. Talk to us about your work with Metaverse. What is it that you do exactly?
Certainly. We started Metaverse in 2016, and the idea was to build a studio that would build the future of this technology, whether it's in virtual reality or augmented reality or real-time 3D. And so we've done about a little over 100 projects in the last 5 years. And then we merged with another company, and they had a platform for creating this content. And the whole ethos of our platform now is to unlock the power of XR for everyone. So we have a code optional, low code platform that allows anybody to build and share these experiences on the web on 7 billion compatible devices instantly from one click.
Wow. Give us an example of some of the projects that you're perhaps most proud of.
Sure. So we've been working with a medical device company actually since COVID hit. They couldn't train people because they couldn't fly people around. They couldn't fly their trainers out, couldn't fly trainees in. And so we created their entire product line in 3 dimensions and allow the users to see the product as if it was in full view from any angle and learn how to operate the machine, repair it, and replace any of the parts. And so this has been a massive revolution in training. We also work with Samsung on training their staff and their sales associates around the world on the new features of their devices. And we'll be announcing those case studies very soon. They're huge case studies. On another side, we make virtual stores as a partnership with MasterCard. And it's really cool. We make these V stores. You can try it on our website, metaverse.com. And that's META, capital V, capital R, SE.com.
Before we wrap up, Alan, was it flattering or annoying that everyone is now buzzing about the metaverse? Facebook rebranded its corporate name as Meta. You've been talking about this for so long. So is this good for you, or is this, an eye-rolling week for you?
I am just super honored that we are part of this industry. So anything that we can do to foster this industry, to get it off the ground, and to, get this technology in the hands of as many people as possible is okay by me. And I'm super honored that Facebook called their company Meta, because it means we're on the right track.
Again, the website is metaverse.com, METAVRSE.com for Alan Smithson's company. Amazing to chat with you. This is mind-blowing tech. You've been at the forefront of it for so long. Congratulations. And I can't wait to see what's next from Metaverse. Thanks, Alan.
Thank you, Mark.
Hey, thank you for tuning into Tech It Out this hour. Hope you enjoyed it. The show is powered by ASUS. For those in search of incredible, ASUS creates technology for today and tomorrow's smart life. And that includes its line of award-winning laptops, like its ZenBooks, VivoBooks, StudioBooks, ExpertBooks, and Chromebooks. Head over to asus.com/US/radio for more info. That's asus.com/US/radio. Speaking of laptops, don't forget to properly back up your files on a regular basis or download software that automates the process for you. westerndigital.com has free downloads for their solid-state drives, hard drives, and even SanDisk-based USB thumb drives. If you're on social media, come say hi. Mark Saltzman, Mark with a C, SALTZMAN, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube. Have a great week ahead, and we'll catch up with you next time for another episode of Tech It Out. Bye-bye for now.